Hi, loving listener. Today I will share something that touches every heart at some point in life. There is something all of us do, though we might not say it out loud. We hide our pain. Maybe it is the pain of a broken heart, the disappointment that comes after failure, or a deep sadness we can't even explain with words. Yet every morning we wake up, look in the mirror, and force a smile before stepping out into the world. It is almost like putting on an invisible mask that silently tells everyone, "I'm fine," even when we feel far from it. Some people might say hiding pain is weakness, as if it means we are too afraid to face the truth. But sometimes, hiding pain is actually a sign of real strength. Because hiding your pain doesn't mean pretending it doesn't exist. It means you choose to keep moving forward, even when it feels heavy. It means you protect your heart, while you quietly heal on the inside. In this video, we will explore how to hide your pain in a healthy way, not to run away from it, but to manage it, to heal at your own pace, and to keep living your life with hope. Stay till the end, because each chapter may help you discover something powerful inside yourself. A quiet strength you might not have known was there. Chapter 1. Understand your pain. Before you can learn how to hide your pain from the world, you must first truly understand what it is and where it comes from. Many people try to skip this step because it feels easier to push pain aside, to keep busy, or to pretend it isn't there. But pain that is ignored does not simply disappear. It sits quietly in your heart, waiting for a moment to come out, often in ways you don't expect. Imagine you wake up one morning and feel a deep heaviness in your chest. Your first thought might be to brush it off and say, "I'm just tired," or "Maybe I didn't sleep well." But instead of pushing that feeling away, what if you paused for a moment and took a deep breath and gently asked yourself, "Why do I feel this way?" It may sound simple, but this small question can open a door to understanding what is really happening inside you. Maybe your pain comes from heartbreak. Perhaps someone you loved deeply is no longer part of your life, and you still carry their absence like a quiet shadow that follows you everywhere. Or maybe someone you trusted betrayed you, and now there is a wound inside that feels raw and painful, no matter how hard you try to forget it. Sometimes, the source of pain is even harder to name. It could be disappointment, life not going the way you hoped, dreams that feel out of reach, or a feeling that something important is missing but you can't quite explain what. These feelings can build up slowly, day by day, until one morning you wake up and the weight of it all becomes too heavy to ignore. Understanding your pain is like turning on a light in a dark room. At first, you might see things you don't want to face, memories, regrets, or truths about yourself and others that hurt to admit. But the light also makes everything clearer. Suddenly, the things that felt huge and shapeless become something you can see, name, and begin to manage. You might realize that your sadness is not endless. It is connected to a specific event, a specific person, or a specific loss. Or you might discover that your anger is really fear, hidden underneath the surface. By seeing your pain clearly, you take the first step toward taking back your power. It's important to remember that understanding your pain doesn't make it disappear instantly. The heartbreak, the disappointment, or the loneliness doesn't vanish the moment you see it for what it is. But what does happen is just as important. The pain becomes less frightening. When pain stays in the dark, it feels bigger and scarier than it truly is. But when you face it, it becomes something real, something you can hold, examine, and eventually learn to live with. It stops controlling you from the shadows and becomes something you can choose how to respond to. Pain itself wants to be recognized. It exists because something inside you has been hurt, and it is your mind and heart's way of asking for attention. When you name your pain, this is sadness, this is disappointment, this is loneliness, you begin to separate who you are from what you feel. You are not your pain. You are a person who is experiencing pain. This small difference is powerful because it reminds you that pain, while real and strong, is also temporary. Feelings come and go, but your true self remains. By understanding your pain, you start to take back your power from it. You no longer need to hide it blindly or run from it in fear. Instead, you can hide it wisely, protect it gently, and give yourself time and space to heal. And when the world asks, "How are you?" you will know inside yourself what is true, even if you choose to smile and simply say, "I'm okay," because you have already done the hardest part. You have faced your pain, understood where it comes from, and begun the journey to live with it, rather than letting it control you. This is the quiet strength that begins the moment you dare to look your pain in the eye and truly see it for what it is. Chapter 2. Build your inner wall. Once you begin to understand your pain and see where it comes from, the next step is to protect your heart so it has space and time to heal. Imagine your heart as a precious room inside a great castle. It is the center of who you are, full of memories, dreams, love, and quiet strength. Like any treasure, it deserves to be guarded carefully. But the wall you build around your heart is not made of cold stone or heavy iron. Instead, it is built from self-control, self-respect, and quiet wisdom gathered through your experiences. Building your inner wall starts with self-control. This means choosing how you react when something painful happens. For example, someone may say something hurtful to you. Without a wall, those words might sink straight into your heart, making you doubt yourself or feel worthless. But with self-control, you take a breath, pause, and remind yourself that their words do not define who you truly are. The wall you build in your mind keeps those words from cutting so deeply. It allows you to see them for what they are, opinions, not truths. Then there is self-respect. This is like the strongest part of your wall because it reminds you every day that you have value, no matter what others think. Self-respect is knowing that you deserve kindness, even from yourself. It is telling yourself, "I may be hurting, but I still matter." When life disappoints you or when people let you down, this part of your wall keeps you from falling apart completely. It helps you stay upright, even when it feels like the world is pushing against you. Wisdom is the final piece of your inner wall, and it is what teaches you when to open your heart and when to keep it guarded. Not everyone deserves to see your pain or know your deepest struggles. Some people might misunderstand, judge, or even use your pain against you. Wisdom helps you see who is safe to trust and who should stay outside your walls. This does not mean you become cold, silent, or unkind. It means you learn to choose carefully who you let close to your heart. It is important to remember that building your inner wall is not about becoming emotionless. It is not about pretending you don't feel sadness, anger, or fear. Your feelings are still there, living inside the walls you have built, but the wall helps you decide what to share and what to keep private. You can still be kind and friendly. You can still show love. But behind that quiet strength, you protect the parts of yourself that are most vulnerable. Think of your wall as a gentle boundary. It keeps your spirit safe while you heal on the inside. It gives you time to breathe, to think, and to process your pain without the pressure of showing it to the world. Over time, your wall becomes part of who you are. Not something that traps you, but something that supports you. It stands silently around your heart, reminding you every day that while you may feel pain, you do not have to let it break you completely. In moments of weakness, when you feel your pain rising to the surface, you can lean on this wall. Let it hold you up until you find your balance again. And when you are ready, you can choose to lower the wall for the people who have shown they truly care about you. Because while not everyone deserves to see your scars, a few trusted people may help your heart heal faster. In the end, your inner wall is not there to hide who you truly are. It is there to protect the most fragile parts of you until you are strong enough to face the world without fear. It keeps the pain from spilling out to those who would not understand. And slowly, behind this wall of self-control, self-respect, and wisdom, you give yourself the chance to heal quietly and rise again. This is not running away from your pain. It is honoring it by giving it a safe place to rest while you keep moving forward. Chapter 3. Control your expression. One of the ways people can sense your hidden pain is by watching your face, listening to your voice, and observing your body language. Even without words, your eyes can reveal sadness, your shoulders can show the weight you carry, and your voice can tremble under the pressure of silent pain. That is why it becomes important to learn how to control your expression, not to deceive others, but to protect the parts of your heart that are not yet ready to be seen. This skill gives you the strength to move through the world with grace, even when your heart feels heavy. When you feel pain rising inside you, start by taking a slow, deep breath. Feel the air fill your lungs and gently relax your shoulders, which often carry unnoticed tension. This simple act helps calm your racing thoughts and brings a moment of stillness to your body. Next, pay attention to your voice. Pain often makes the voice shaky or sharp. Speak a little slower. Let your words flow gently, and keep your tone calm and steady. A steady voice can become your invisible shield, giving you strength even when your feelings threaten to break through. Your face, especially your eyes and mouth, can easily show what you feel inside. Train yourself to keep a gentle, natural smile, not too forced, but enough to soften your expression. This small smile becomes your mask of quiet strength. It tells the world you are okay, even if only enough to get through the day. Remember, this isn't about lying to others. It is about choosing to keep your deep struggles private until you are ready to share them, or until you decide never to share them at all. You might find it helpful to practice in front of a mirror. Notice what your face looks like when you are calm and when you feel pain rising. Learn to gently adjust your expression until you see a look that feels natural but guarded. This practice might feel strange at first, but over time it teaches you to respond calmly even when emotions try to overflow. Understand this clearly. Controlling your expression does not mean you never feel pain. It means you manage how much of it you show to the outside world. Everyone has moments when they can't hold it in, and that's okay too. But most of the time, this skill helps you move through life with dignity. It gives you the power to choose when, where, and with whom to share your pain. The world does not always need to see your struggles. Some battles are yours alone, and it is your right to keep them hidden if that helps you heal. By learning to hide pain behind calm eyes and steady words, you protect your heart while still living your life. Over time, this becomes less about hiding weakness and more about showing quiet strength. It is a choice to keep going, even when your heart quietly aches inside. And in this choice, there is a special kind of courage that many will never see, but you will always know it lives within you. Chapter 4. Share carefully. Hiding your pain from the world does not mean you should lock it so deeply inside that it never sees the light. Even the strongest hearts sometimes need to speak, to feel heard, and to be gently comforted. But it is important to remember that not everyone around you can handle your truth with kindness. Some may misunderstand your pain, while others, often without meaning to, might judge, minimize, or even use your words against you later. That is why it is so important to share carefully, to choose wisely who you trust with the most fragile parts of your heart. Sharing your pain is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are human. We are all built to need connection, even if we act as though we don't. Sometimes, just speaking your pain out loud takes away part of its power. But the question you must always ask yourself first is, Who is truly safe to hear my pain? Often the answer is not a large group of people, but just one or two trusted souls. A close friend who has stood by you over the years, a family member who truly knows your heart, or a trained therapist who understands how to listen without judgment. These special people don't try to fix you or rush you to get over it. Instead, they give you space to speak honestly, to cry if you must, and to breathe deeply without fear of what they might think. They don't see your vulnerability as something to mock or share with others. They hold it gently, like a secret that belongs only to you. Talking to someone like this can help you heal faster because pain often grows heavier in silence. When spoken to the right person, pain becomes lighter, more bearable, and less frightening. But this is why sharing should always be a careful choice. Pain is deeply personal, and once shared, it cannot be fully taken back. Some people may act like they care at first, only to show later that they do not truly understand or respect your feelings. Others may speak thoughtlessly, offering cold advice instead of compassion. And there are some who, knowingly or unknowingly, might use your words to hurt you in moments of anger or jealousy. This is why your pain is something precious, and sharing it should feel like giving a delicate gift, not something offered to everyone you meet. Remember this: the rest of the world does not need to know your scars to respect your strength. You can walk through life with your head held high, showing your calm face and steady voice to most people, while keeping your deepest struggles safely guarded. This balance between hiding and wisely sharing can give you both privacy and relief. It protects your heart while still allowing it to breathe. In the end, sharing your pain is less about seeking approval and more about choosing connection in a safe space. It reminds you that even though you hide your pain from many, you are never truly alone. The people you choose to trust become quiet lights in your journey, helping you see hope even on the darkest days. And that gentle support can give you the strength to keep hiding your pain from the rest of the world, not out of fear, but out of respect for your own healing heart. Chapter 5. Find a safe outlet. Pain, when it stays hidden deep inside for too long, can become unbearable. It starts as a quiet ache, but over time it can grow into something larger that silently drains your energy and hope. Even if you learn to hide it behind calm eyes and steady words, the pain still lives within you and it needs somewhere to go. This is why it becomes so important to find a safe outlet, a private way to release what your heart cannot always say out loud without harming yourself or others around you. A safe outlet is not about telling the whole world your secrets or making a dramatic confession. Instead, it is something deeply personal, something only for you. For some people, this outlet is writing in a journal. Late at night or early in the morning, you can write down every thought, every fear, every memory that weighs on your heart. On paper, you don't have to hold back or choose careful words. Your pain can flow freely, and the page will never judge you. When you close the journal, it feels as though you have taken a part of your pain out of your mind and gently placed it somewhere else. Others may find their outlet through art, drawing, painting, or even simple sketches. You don't need to be an artist to do this. The goal is not to create something beautiful that others will admire. It is to create something honest. The lines, the colors, and the shapes can all carry parts of your hidden feelings. When you look at what you've drawn or painted, it can feel like you've taken something invisible and made it real, where you can see it and slowly understand it. Music can also be a powerful secret place for your pain. You might play an instrument, sing softly to yourself, or simply listen to songs that reflect how you feel. The melodies and rhythms can help express emotions that words alone cannot carry. Even if nobody else hears it, the act of making music allows your pain to move rather than stay frozen inside. What makes these outlets special is that nobody else has to see, hear, or understand what you create. It is not meant for likes, comments, or applause. It is something that belongs only to you. A quiet conversation between your pain and your spirit. By giving your pain a private space to breathe, you stop it from overflowing into your daily life. You may find that your heart feels lighter afterward, and you can return to the world with a gentler smile. It is important to remember that having an outlet does not mean the pain disappears forever, but it keeps the pain from growing so large that it silently controls your thoughts, words, and actions. Your private outlet becomes a safety valve, releasing the pressure slowly and safely. Over time, you may even discover unexpected moments of peace and clarity while you write, draw, or play. In this quiet process, you protect both yourself and the people around you. Your pain is still yours, but it no longer weighs so heavily on your daily life. It becomes something you manage, rather than something that silently manages you. And this is the quiet, powerful gift of finding a safe outlet. It lets your pain speak, so your heart can keep smiling in public, even on days when the ache is still there. Chapter 6. Transform pain into power. One of the most powerful and life-changing things you can do is to take your pain and transform it into a driving force that moves you forward instead of holding you back. At first, this might sound impossible. Pain can feel so heavy that it seems to pull you down each time you try to stand. But hidden inside that same pain is energy. An energy that, if guided with patience and determination, can become fuel for growth, strength, and quiet confidence. Think of a moment when someone doubted you, told you that you weren't good enough, or didn't believe in your dreams. That doubt can feel like a cut to the heart, leaving behind disappointment, sadness, or even anger. But you have a choice. You can let those words define you and keep you trapped, or you can use the pain they caused as motivation. You can let it become a silent promise to yourself. I will work harder, learn more, and rise above what they think of me. In this way, the very pain that could have broken you becomes the reason you keep going. Or consider the pain that comes from failure. Maybe you tried your best, but things didn't work out. You feel embarrassed, defeated, and afraid to try again. But failure itself can teach you lessons you might never learn through success. Instead of hiding from the pain, ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can I use what I learned to do better next time? Each time you get up after falling, you build quiet strength. Over time, this strength becomes part of who you are, not just someone who hides pain well, but someone who rises because of it. Many people you see as successful or strong have walked through deep pain you may never know about. They were betrayed, doubted, or suffered loss. But instead of letting pain stop them, they let it guide them. Pain became their discipline, their reason to wake up early, train harder, and keep going even when nobody was watching. Their pain gave them focus and purpose, pushing them beyond what seemed possible. It's important to see that pain itself is not power. Left alone, pain can become bitterness, anger, or self-pity. But when you choose how to respond, by turning it into hard work, patience, or deeper understanding, you discover a new strength inside yourself. Pain becomes like a fire. If left wild, it can burn everything around you. But if you learn to control it, it becomes warmth and light that guides your path. You might not always feel strong. There will still be days when the pain feels heavier than your courage. But remind yourself, my pain does not define me. My response to it does. Each step you take to transform pain into something useful adds to a quiet power that nobody can take from you. This power lives inside your choices, your discipline, and your refusal to give up. In the end, pain can become a silent teacher, giving you wisdom and strength that comfort alone cannot provide. It can give you a reason to rise each morning, to work toward your goals, and to keep your heart alive even when it feels bruised. By turning pain into power, you do more than survive. You learn to live deeply, driven by purpose, and guided by an inner strength that was born from your darkest moments. And that strength, quietly built from pain, becomes something truly unbreakable. Chapter 7. Practice Daily Detachment. Detachment is a powerful tool in learning how to live with pain without letting it control you. Many people misunderstand attachment, thinking it means not caring or becoming cold and distant. But true detachment does not mean you stop caring. It means you learn the important skill of letting go of things you cannot control. It means understanding the difference between what belongs to you, your thoughts, feelings, and actions, and what belongs to others, like their opinions, choices, and behaviors. For example, think about someone who doesn't like you or disagrees with you. This can hurt, especially if you want others to accept and understand you. But remember, their feelings are their choice, not yours. You cannot make everyone like you, and trying to do so will only cause unnecessary pain. Detachment teaches you to accept this reality without taking it personally. It is freeing to realize that other people's thoughts and feelings are not your responsibility. Another example is pain from the past. You may carry memories of mistakes, regrets, or losses that still hurt deeply. But the past cannot be changed. No matter how much you think about what happened, you cannot rewrite history. Detachment helps you accept the past without letting it dictate your present or future. You remind yourself that while you cannot change what is done, you can control how you respond now. A helpful practice is to start each day with a simple reminder. What I feel is mine to manage. What others think is theirs. Saying this to yourself every morning helps calm the mind and prepare your heart for the day ahead. It sets a boundary between your inner world and the outside world. It reminds you that you are responsible for your emotions and choices, but not for how everyone else behaves or feels. This daily practice of detachment helps you stop showing your pain to people who don't deserve to see it. When you understand that not every struggle needs to be shared and that not everyone can handle your truth, you learn to protect your heart wisely. This doesn't mean you hide your pain forever or refuse to get help when needed. It means you choose when, where, and with whom to reveal your struggles, so your pain does not become a burden for others or a weakness you constantly have to explain. Over time, detachment allows your pain to become something you carry gently. Instead of letting pain control your thoughts, reactions, and mood, you learn to hold it softly, like a quiet companion rather than a heavy chain. This gentle holding gives you freedom. You can feel pain without being trapped by it. You can live your life fully while still honoring the hurt inside. Detachment also brings calmness to your mind. When you let go of things beyond your control, your mental energy is freed up to focus on what you can change: your attitude, your goals, and your healing process. It helps you avoid unnecessary stress caused by worrying about others' opinions or ruminating on what can't be undone. In the journey of hiding your pain wisely, detachment is like a daily practice of putting on your invisible armor. It is not a cold shield that cuts you off from life, but a gentle boundary that protects your peace. It allows you to face the world with strength and calm, carrying your pain with dignity rather than letting it drag you down. With time and patience, detachment helps transform your pain from a heavy burden into a quiet part of your story, a part that shapes you, but does not define you. Chapter 8. Build a new identity. Sometimes the most effective way to hide your pain is not by simply covering it up, but by building something entirely new inside yourself. When pain feels overwhelming and constant, it can seem as though your entire identity is shaped by that pain. You may feel defined by your sadness, your failures, or your past hurts. But the truth is, You have the power to create a new story, a new identity that helps you move beyond your pain and discover a stronger version of yourself. The first step in this process is to ask yourself an important question. Who do I want to become? This is not about pretending or putting on a mask that feels fake. Instead, it is about imagining the person you want to be, someone who is calm, confident, and in control of their emotions. Maybe you want to become someone strong, silent, and wise, someone who faces challenges with courage and quiet dignity. You can choose any qualities that inspire you. The key is to start seeing yourself not as someone trapped by pain, but as someone who is growing into something new and powerful. Once you have a clear idea of the person you want to become, start living like that person today. This means making small changes in your daily habits and behaviors. For example, if you want to become calm and confident, pay attention to how you walk. Walk a little taller, with your shoulders back and your head held high. This simple act can change how you feel inside and how others see you. Dressing better or more thoughtfully can also help you feel stronger and more in control. When you look good, you often feel good, and that boosts your confidence. Speaking calmly and clearly is another powerful step. When your voice is steady and your words measured, people listen more carefully, and you feel more grounded. Even if your heart feels heavy inside, your outward behavior can show strength. Over time, these small but consistent changes build up and become natural parts of who you are. People around you will begin to notice your new strength. They will see a calm, composed person rather than someone weighed down by pain or struggle. Perhaps the most important part of building a new identity happens inside your mind. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you keep telling yourself that you are broken, weak, or stuck, your mind will believe it. But if you start telling a different story, one where you are growing stronger, overcoming challenges, and becoming more confident, your mind will begin to accept this new truth. This change in self-talk can slowly reduce your pain, not because the pain disappears, but because you no longer allow it to define you. Building a new identity does not mean forgetting your past or pretending your pain never existed. It means creating a future where your pain is just one part of your story, not the whole story. This new identity becomes a shield that helps you hide your pain from the world while you continue to heal inside. It gives you hope and motivation to keep going, even when the road feels difficult. In the end, building a new identity is an act of courage. It is saying to yourself, I am more than my pain. I can grow. I can change. And with each step you take toward this new version of yourself, your old wounds will matter less. Your mind, heart, and body will begin to believe in the strength you are creating. This is a quiet but powerful way to hide your pain, not by ignoring it, but by building a new story where pain no longer has the final word. Chapter 9. Don't fake happiness. Find small joys. Hiding your pain doesn't mean you have to pretend to be happy all the time. Many people believe that if they are hurting inside, they must put on a bright, fake smile and act as if everything is perfect. But pretending to be happy when you're not can feel exhausting and even make the pain harder to bear. Instead, there is a different way, one that honors your feelings but also allows room for real moments of joy, no matter how small they seem. Finding small, real joys each day is a gentle way to bring light into your life, even when your heart still carries sadness. These joys are not big or dramatic. They might be something as simple as sipping a warm cup of tea in the quiet morning, feeling the gentle sunlight on your face during a short walk outside, or hearing the laughter of a child nearby. Sometimes, it can be the kindness you offer to someone else, a smile, a word of encouragement, or a simple thank you. These small moments don't erase your pain, but they remind you that life still has beauty and softness, even in difficult times. Pain and joy can live together in the same heart. You don't have to wait for all your pain to disappear before you allow yourself to feel happy. The truth is, happiness isn't always about grand celebrations or perfect days. It is often found in tiny moments, moments that flicker quietly in the background while you continue to heal. When you learn this, you stop forcing a fake smile that doesn't reach your eyes. Instead, your smile becomes something real, even if it is small and shy. This small, real joy also helps build a foundation for healing. It is like watering a garden that has been dry for a long time. You may still see weeds or broken branches, but with care, new flowers can start to grow. Each moment of joy gives your heart a little rest from the pain. It shows your mind that life can be kind sometimes, that happiness can peek through even on hard days. Remember, finding joy does not mean you ignore your pain or pretend it isn't there. It means you create space for both. You acknowledge the hurt, but you also choose to notice the good things around you. This balance is important because it helps you avoid getting stuck in sadness or despair. You learn to carry your pain gently, alongside moments that bring peace and pleasure. When you practice this daily, looking for small joys, you gradually feel more alive. Your energy returns, your hope grows, and your heart feels less heavy. This is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about living honestly, with pain and joy side by side. Your happiness becomes real because it comes from genuine moments that you allow yourself to feel. In the end, don't rush your healing or expect instant happiness. Instead, look for the little lights in your day. Celebrate a beautiful sunset, a comforting song, or a simple laugh. These small joys do not erase your pain, but they make life worth living. And as you invite these moments in, your smile will become something true and warm. A quiet sign of your strength and hope, even in the face of pain. Chapter 10. Accept the unseen battle. One of the most important truths to understand on the journey of hiding your pain is that you are not alone in your struggle. Every person you meet, whether a stranger on the street, a colleague at work, or a close friend, is fighting a hidden battle. Just like you, they carry pains, fears, and worries that others rarely see. This shared experience is a quiet thread that connects us all as human beings. We all wear masks. Each day, we step into the world and show a version of ourselves carefully chosen to protect us. Sometimes this mask is a smile, sometimes a calm face, and sometimes a strong and confident appearance. Behind the mask, pain, sadness, or fear may be quietly waiting. Understanding that everyone hides pain helps you realize that your own mask is not a sign of weakness or failure. Instead, it is part of what it means to be human. When you accept this truth, you feel less pressure to look perfect. You stop believing the lie that everyone else has it all together while you are the only one struggling. Instead, you see that everyone faces difficulties, though they may hide them well. This awareness frees you from the burden of trying to appear flawless or to hide your pain so carefully that no one suspects. You begin to understand that hiding pain is a natural response to protect your heart, and it is not something to be ashamed of. This understanding also changes how you relate to others. When you notice someone else wearing a mask, perhaps with tired eyes or quiet sadness behind their smile, you are reminded that they too have a hidden battle. You don't have to know the details or ask difficult questions. Sometimes, just offering kindness, a gentle word, a warm smile, or a simple gesture of care can be enough. Kindness becomes a quiet language of connection and support that crosses the boundaries of pain and loneliness. Showing kindness to others who hide their pain often brings peace to your own heart as well. When you recognize someone else's struggle and respond with empathy, you feel a shared sense of humanity. This connection reminds you that you are not isolated by your pain, but part of a larger, compassionate community. Kindness softens the sharp edges of pain and creates space for healing, both for the person receiving it and for you, the giver. Accepting the unseen battle also helps you be gentler with yourself. When you realize that everyone hides pain, you are less likely to judge your own struggles harshly. You begin to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you offer to others. Instead of feeling weak for hiding your pain, you see it as a wise choice to protect yourself while you heal. In this way, accepting the unseen battle is a step toward peace. It teaches you to live authentically with your pain, knowing that others share similar journeys. It encourages you to be patient with yourself and others, and to remember that strength is not about never feeling pain, but about continuing despite it. Your hidden pain is part of your story, but it does not have to define you. By accepting the unseen battle inside yourself and others, you create a quiet strength rooted in compassion and connection. This strength carries you forward, allowing you to face each day with courage and kindness, both for yourself and for those who, like you, are wearing their own masks and fighting their own battles behind the scenes. Final thoughts. The art of silent strength. In the end, hiding your pain is not about lying or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about choosing to live with strength and dignity, even when your heart is heavy and aching. Life will bring challenges, heartbreaks, and moments that hurt deeply, but how you carry that pain matters more than the pain itself. You do not owe the world an explanation for your struggles. Your pain is yours, and you have the right to keep it private if that is what helps you heal. Instead of feeling pressured to show your pain or act as if it doesn't exist, you owe yourself love, patience, and time to heal. Healing is not a race or a contest. It is a quiet, personal journey. Some days will be easier and some will be harder. But every day you choose to keep going, you build your silent strength. This strength is not loud or boastful. It is the kind that stays steady in the face of difficulty, the kind that smiles gently even when the heart is breaking inside. Remember that hiding your pain does not mean you must carry it alone forever. You can keep your pain private while still sharing it wisely with people who truly care. You can find safe ways to express what you feel, whether through writing, art, music, or quiet conversations with trusted friends. You can even transform your pain into power, using it as motivation to grow, to learn, and to move forward with purpose. Living a life full of meaning does not require you to be free from pain. It means you know how to carry it without letting it weigh you down. It means you build walls when you need to protect your heart and open doors when you are ready to connect. It means practicing detachment from things outside your control and finding small moments of joy even in the hardest times. This is the art of silent strength, the ability to live fully, to face your pain honestly but quietly, and to keep walking forward with courage. It is a strength that others may never see, but it is real and powerful. And maybe someday, your story of hidden pain and quiet courage will become a light for someone else who feels lost in their own struggle. Thank you for watching this video till the end. If it helped you in any way, consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear these words today. You never know whose heart you might touch with a simple act of kindness. Stay strong, be patient with yourself, and keep going. One step at a time. Your silent strength is your greatest power.